You're listening to the Whoa Podcast
with Laura
and Lenina, where we talk about what's on your mind
right now.
Let me introduce everyone to whom I am speaking with. So, Laura is MIA. Where in the world is Laura?
I have no clue.
So, yeah. Laura's homesick. Hashtag pray for Laura. She's going to love that. So, I'm in the studio with Kathleen Adams.
Woohoo!
Yep. She is the co-founder of Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen, the soup kitchen for hip hop soul. I'll let you explain what Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen is.
Yeah, so Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen is a events-based organization that my business partner, Latere, and myself co-founded 8 years ago. So essentially, we exist to change the way that people view women, especially women of color, through hip-hop. And we also want to lower the rates of HIV/AIDS and shed light on reproductive justice issues. So we have an annual showcase the first Saturday of March every year with female MCs, B-girls, DJs, and graffiti artists. And we've been going strong for 8 years now, and 1,000+ people come to our annual event each year. And we're gearing up for Volume 8, which is on Saturday, March 7th, coming up.
Okay. So from what I understand, Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen is a hip-hop music festival.
Yes.
For women.
For women, produced by women, and female artists are in it. We obviously enjoy the support of, the men who are behind us and whatnot, but it's really a female-powered gathering, and we're so excited for this year. The theme is Enough is Enough.
What does that mean?
So we're focusing more on community justice, and we're saying enough is enough. So in terms of Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, stopping police brutality in communities, especially communities of color, just really saying that we're really fed up. I think that when we came up with the theme, we weren't initially thinking about anti-police tactics and that type of thing, but just because of the climate of what's going on, we had to say enough is enough. Let's recognize what's going on.
Okay. So why Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen? What was the idea behind it?
So when we created this 8 years ago, we weren't trying to do anything. We were just trying to put on a showcase with our friends and people that we knew. And we thought 75 people would come, and over 500+ people came our first year. And so it was really crazy for us that many people came. And from there, the audience said, we want more. You need to do this again. And so Latere and I were like, okay, let's do this. We were invited to be at Hostos Community College in the South Bronx, and they were able to help us get space and some funding to put on a real big showcase. And so that's what it is. But why Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen? Because we don't cook. We're trying to cook, but we call it...
We order seamless.
Exactly, we order seamless. No, we're learning to cook, but Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen is a metaphorical kitchen. So hip-hop is all about issues and ideas and expressing yourself. And what do you do in the kitchen, or what do women do in the kitchen? They talk about issues and ideas, and they express themselves.
Women do their hair.
Exactly.
They prepare dinner, breakfast, lunch. They do laundry.
So it's a metaphorical kitchen, yeah.
Got it.
We're hoping to evolve our kitchen in many ways in the future.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to that, actually. And so you said it's at Hostos March 7th.
March 7th, yeah. So Hostos, it's doors open at 2, the event's at 2:30. You can come earlier around noon to experience our community organizations tabling and our free HIV testing.
Okay, so what else can they expect to see at your event?
So we will have break dancers. We have DJ Kiana Parks. She's a really great up-and-coming DJ. She's going to be our DJ this year, so she'll be spinning. We have spoken word poets. We have a great group called Color Girls Hustle that we've been friends with them for a couple years now, and it's kind of like Janelle Monáe in terms of in your face and inspirational, so that's pretty cool. We have Nene Ali, who I think she's age 17 now, but she's been with us for the past 8 years. So as a youngster, she began doing spoken word poetry, so she's helping us out this year. We have Mahina Movement. It's a great Afro-Latina group, and it's acoustic. So we've got a lot of great talent.
Okay, so explain to me why hip-hop?
Why hip-hop? Well, Latere, my business partner, she is an MC, and we both felt that we went to events and there were not enough spaces for women to perform. Girls were always being the hook singers or something like that, kind of in the background, and we wanted to just have an event where where women were the focus of it, and through hip-hop, because we liked hip-hop. We love hip-hop. But the issue is that hip-hop is degrading to women in many ways these days, and at the time that we created Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen, there were really no outlets for that. I'm not saying there are any more outlets 8 years later, but we've created something that obviously is needed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. You really caught me on that. Well, hip-hop is degrading to women. And so I really have to check myself when I'm listening to music and I'm like repeating these lyrics and I'm like, what did I just say? Oh my goodness. And I really get into it.
Exactly. But hip hop was created to fight. Hip hop was created to kind of like change people's lives and to be political. That's what hip hop is. Hip hop today, there's conscious hip hop and whatnot, but it's kind of, there's more raunchy hip hop than conscious hip hop. And we want to show that, like, you know, you can still be conscious with your lyrics and with your music and still bring a crowd, because oftentimes these days people talk about conscious music and how it only attracts a certain type of audience.
Okay.
We bring kids who have never even heard about conscious hip hop or conscious music before to our event, and they're like popping their heads and nodding along and singing along. We actually give them a mixtape, a free mixtape at the end of our event to everyone in the audience so they can take this music home and listen to it. Because people always say, well, I want to listen to positive, great music, but I can't find it. Come to our event and you can find it.
So are you an artist yourself?
I think I'm artistic, but I'm not an artist. Last year, I did some breakdancing at the event for the first time. I grew up as a dancer, not as a breakdancer.
What kind of dance?
I grew up doing like ballet, hip-hop, modern jazz, African, that type of thing, but not breakdancing. And so Rockefeller, she's like one of like the queens and like godmothers of breakdancing, has always performed in our event with her group. So we've, you know, created a relationship. She's a great friend of mine. And I reached out to her and I said I wanted to kind of challenge myself. Would you mind if I danced with her? And she's like, oh my God, no, I'd love for you to come along. So we rehearsed for maybe like 6 weeks, Monday nights, and I danced with her crew.
Were you any good?
People say I was good. People were like, oh, you can really do it.
No, were you good? Do you know if you were good?
I think I was good. Unfortunately, so people only filmed it with like their cell phones, I think. But like our actual
and so
footage,
there is no actual evidence of your goodness?
So last year was the first year that our video equipment didn't work. We had a glitch in it.
Okay.
I was also really upset. So I was like,
how convenient.
No. I wanted to show the world that I could dance. I really did. I think I can dance. Obviously, you know, I need to work on my upper body strength. But I thought you handled
yourself.
I handled myself. People were cheering.
Were you wearing an Adidas tracksuit?
No, I was not wearing an Adidas tracksuit, but I was wearing...
You missed the mark, man.
Well, no, we had a group outfit. We collectively wore. But I think dancing with other women was a great experience because I really challenged myself, and they challenged me, and it was a great experience, and I wish I had more time to do that. So.
More dancing.
Yeah, more dancing. Yeah. Like I used to take dance classes, whatnot, but to perform, it's different.
I'm just curious if you like ever go up there and like, you know, spit a couple of bars, right?
So I've actually wanted to do that.
Are you gonna do it this year?
No. Look for me next year doing it. I said that every year after the breakdancing year, I was going to like take an element of hip hop and learn it and like show a little bit of it.
Yeah.
This year's been busy. We really want to create a theme song. That's what we've been working on. We've had a really hard time finding a female producer who can like produce beats. We've got great mixers and whatnot, but we want it to be an all-female effort from start to finish.
Wow.
And so like, we got the lyrics, we got everything that we could do, but we just need a beat. And a good beat.
So if you're listening and you know a female producer.
Yes, check us out at Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen. You can email mhhk@mhhk.org. Or check out mhhk.org for our website. But
excellent. So I have a question. It's kind of like a full circle moment for me because you used to work with Hollaback, which is a not-for-profit that works in street harassment.
That's correct.
Right.
Using mobile technology.
And a couple of weeks ago, we had Shoshanna in, and we did a podcast.
Great.
Yeah, and so for everyone who doesn't know who Shoshanna is, she stars in that viral video in which she walks around Manhattan for 10 hours, and she's catcalled over 100-plus times, so they say. So we had her in, and I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't that video, set up a link to donate to Hollaback? And then I looked at your bio, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Kathleen.
I was one of the founding board members of Hollaback. I was on it for maybe like 3-4 years, I want to say, on the board. I stepped down this year just because of the time commitment. I have a lot going on in my life, and the organization needed more support that I could give in terms of time. And so I'm still heavily involved, but just not on the board.
So, I mean, what is it about Hollaback that interested you?
Well, at the time, I was working on my master's thesis, and I originally wanted to focus on how transportation and public space impacts how women interact. And so I was really interested in, like, the mobile app and what they were doing in terms of, like, subway harassment. But at the same time, there was, like, budget cuts being done in New York, but they did a whole campaign, the MTA, with if you see something, say something, especially with sexual harassment. But they cut the number of plainclothes, police officers, whatnot, on the train at the same time. So I was actually doing research on that. My thesis kind of morphed into something completely different, but that's how I kind of got really involved with it.
Okay, so I did a vlog on my street harassment story, right? So if there was a story to be told, I would tell it, right? And in the vlog, I say, like, oh, I told my dad that I was going to be interviewing Shoshanna because, you know, I'm fancy, and he alluded to the fact, like, oh, you mean the woman who walked around Manhattan was complimented? And so I said, no, that's not what happened. Then he heard the vlog where I talk about him, and he got upset because he says that I mischaracterize him. And I said, okay, go ahead and give me your side of things. And so he recently sat down with me to tell me his encounter with harassment. And he said, Lenina, I apologize. I didn't really understand what you meant by, you know, the street harassment. I thought, like, oh, you know, a couple of compliments here and there, but I saw it for myself for the first time, and I could not believe my eyes.
Wow.
And so that was a really deep moment.
Oh, well, kind of, people don't really understand street harassment. People are like, oh, it's a compliment or whatnot. I don't know. I would never take time out of the day to, like, holler at anyone on the street. Like, yeah, I definitely see guys that are fine. I'm like that guy is,
it's an acknowledgement, like a head nod, like, yes.
I don't mind a head nod. Like, that's fine, I guess. But that's me. I'm not speaking for all people. I don't mind a head nod, but I would never holler at a guy on the street. Unless I was, like,
well, do guys holler at you
something.
on the street?
Oh, yeah, I get hollered at all the time, but I've never given a guy my number from hollering at me on the street. Like, if you have, I don't know, I guess I'm just picky, or judgmental, whatever you want to call me, but if you have enough time to be hollering at me on the street, you must not be doing anything right.
Why are you on the street corner right now? Like, don't you have a job?
It's
That's
not,
really the first thing that pops into my head.
Yeah, it pops in my head, but, like, that's not, like, my focus, because it depends on where you're at. You know, New York City, you could be walking from your office to lunch, and you see someone, and, like, that's when the holler occurs. But because so much of New York is on, like, occurs in public space, it's just a different story versus being in a suburban or rural area or whatnot. But I don't know. I'm not about hollering, but I also think we aren't trained to communicate with each other in the right way. Like, right now, we talk about online personality or whatnot. I'm very active with my social media presence, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatnot, and I might put out I might have a certain presence or persona online, but I kind of think I'm different in person if you really know me. So you might think I'm online and partying and I'm not doing anything with my life, but I don't post everything that I'm really, really doing, like my grind
you're a
online.
Party girl online. You're
apparently I'm very social. I think I'm social, but I also get a lot done. But it's also like you don't express that all online. So, but back to the point of being different online, I think people holler now more at people online, like through, like, online dating or through, like, Facebook pictures or through, like, Instagram posts. But when it comes to face-to-face interaction, they don't know what to say. They're looking at their cell phone or, like, you know, it's hard to have face-to-face communication.
Okay, so if you need an opening line, how about hello?
Hello, and then what's next? It's just like, I think we need to work on that.
Well, hello, and then what's next is the person responds by hello.
Right.
Right? And then you say, hi, my name is...
But online or through text, you have more time to think and analyze the situation and kind of choose your words.
Okay, look, I'm going to start writing scripts for men.
You should.
On, like, how to approach women they do not know.
But I think women need it, too, because I have so many girlfriends who will, like, send me screenshots of conversations that they're having with guys. And they'll be like, Kathleen, what do I say next? Or, you know, everyone does this. It's like, it's just a fact of life, but it's like... You know, when you have a village to help craft your message, it's easier than doing it in person.
Oh, my God, you've got to craft a message.
You're crafting your message if you're doing this online.
That troubles me.
It is troubling. Why do you think I'm single? Dating around, but I'm single.
I'm dating and single too. Maybe this is why I'm
Right.
so troubled. I'm like, oh, I'm living this every day.
Maybe you should have a dating podcast.
Oh my God.
That'd be fun.
Yes. Oh, okay.
like
So,
cereal,
wait,
like cereal.
Like, seriously.
Like cereal, or like maybe it might not be every week, because sometimes relationships take a couple weeks, but then start like recapping it, changing the names.
Oh wait, you mean to serialize my dating life and relationship?
You could if you want to.
Oh no, ma'am.
Change
no.
Change your persona, or profile someone, but keep it confidential, and then you can kind of like go through the motions or the relationship. Or have you ever read that blog? It's like 40 Days of Dating, and it has a girl and a guy. And the challenge is, or some researcher said, like, if you see this person every single day for 40 days, that helps form a strong relationship. So this guy and this girl, they're kind of like friends or whatever. They see each other every single day. They go on dates, they talk on the phone, do whatever, and they have to record their narratives. And you see the narrative through the woman's eyes and then through the man's eyes. Oh. I forget what happens at the end. I think they ended up dating, but I thought it was cool because at first I read it at the end when I could read all 40 days. Mm-hmm. But originally it was only like one day at a time. So you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
And so you're following their dating life in real time.
Yeah, real time.
Oh.
I think it's interesting.
It's interesting for me to read someone else's story, but then if I'm putting my own out there, I don't know.
I'm not saying put your own out there, but I'd be interested in hearing other people's stories. I feel like, you only see it through like reality TV, and that's fake. Mm. Or like, I don't know. I'd love to see like a young person in New York, young professional. Like, I'd love to like see their experiences and maybe things change.
Here's why
I'm not volunteering myself, but
right. I was about to say, like, here's why it scared me, because then people be like, oh, she's the girl who blogs about all her dates, or podcasts about all her dates, or tell people about all her dates. And then after a while, you can't get any more dates because nobody wants their business out there.
Yeah,
then what?
It's anonymous. It's anonymous. I have an online dating group that I helped start. I'm not going to tell you the name of it because I don't want people. You can't. You can't find it.
You can tell me later because
I
want to
join.
Yeah,
I'll invite you to be in it, but it's invite only. And it was started by me and 3 other people, and we essentially were just really frustrated about venting about the horrors of dating.
Oh my God, I have so many stories.
And we wanted like advice, and so we started this group, and we started inviting our friends, and it's a private, closed group. You can't find it on Facebook, but it is on Facebook. And we have people in the group as members who are, some are married, so they're providing advice from like the marriage point of view. Some are divorced, some are going through divorces, some are, dating strong relationships, some are single. So you have all these different points of views, and we kind of like pose a question or issue that's going on, and everyone gives feedback when they can.
Okay, is it
it's
like a
helpful.
Group of women?
No, it's co-ed.
It's co-ed.
Yeah.
Or are there any single men in this group?
I think our policy is not to date within the group, just to not make it awkward. But if you choose to connect with someone, you can friend them or message them privately. But it's kind of like, it's really great group therapy for dating.
That's interesting.
And it's refreshing. Like, we've been going strong since August.
Wow. How many people are in this group?
I think 99 now. We don't, but it's only people that like we feel comfortable bringing in.
Got it.
Because you have to like.
They've got to be vetted.
We want you to contribute. You don't have to come in the group and contribute immediately, but we only get better and stronger through each other's perspectives. So we don't want people just silent and like reading. Some people do that, and that's fine, but we know they're going to break that.
They're just lurking.
Yeah,
for now.
You can lurk for a little bit, but not.
So Kathleen, what don't you do? You're like this dating guru.
Oh, not at all.
You're starting music festivals. Excuse me. You're in your 8th year of a music festival. It's kind of like, well, what else is going on? Tell me, what else is going on in that brain of yours?
I don't know. Studying for the GMAT, for the possibility of going to business school in the future. Huh. Hopefully. I don't know. We've got things on the table. What else am I doing? Traveling. Working on
There's a smile here. There's
working
a smile
working on projects.
Good.
Yeah. What's new with you?
Gosh, what's new? It's like, here's the thing. Last week I was profiled for what do you call that? A Columbia J School student profiled me for her class project on my work that I do with Women of Action with Lenina, which is my interview series. And she started asking me questions, and I got nervous out of nowhere. The lights were on me, and I'm like, I'm nervous. When did that happen? It's because when like someone's asking me, like when the camera's pointed at me, that's when I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with this.
Well, it depends on.
So with that said, ain't nothing going on. I'm kidding.
It depends on who's interviewing. Like, I'm comfortable talking to you, obviously, but if it was just someone random, I think you have to like build a rapport before it's, you know.
Let's see what's going on. So we've got this podcast. Whoa, podcast is brand new, and I'm like really, really pushing it. Then we've got my vlogs that my family they don't want to be mentioned at all. They're like, do not talk about me on the internet, Lenina. Don't. I'll get angry. So I talk about them anyway. And if they disown me, then, well, they disown me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how it is. And we have Women of Action with Lenina. And that's our interview series on YouTube. And we have interesting podcasts coming up, and one of which is like in the same vein of women empowerment, and that's similar to your similar topics to your music festival, Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen, is Nicole Sharp. She's an author, and I interviewed her for I interviewed her on our I interviewed her on Women of Action, and she wrote this book, a memoir about domestic violence, growing up as the child of domestic violence. Mm-hmm. So she witnessed domestic violence growing up. Her father killed her mom, and she writes about the aftermath, like what happens next, right? And so it's one of those like street harassment, sexual harassment, domestic violence. It's one of those like really hot button topics.
Yeah.
That Women of Action, like really, we like to look in on and see what's going on.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I imagine you probably did some research on Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen, how it was kind of supposed to be domestic violence this year in some ways. Mm-hmm. But I just feel it's community violence right now, because I feel that like a lot of times we have resources for women who have been in situations of intimate partner violence or domestic violence. Mm-hmm. But I think we really need to step back and look at community violence right now, too, because I think the community as a whole, we're struggling and we're having issues. And I think certain populations aren't being given the resources they need to kind of heal or talk through issues. And I think it perpetuates in other ways.
Okay.
I'm not like an academic on this subject, but I just feel that like, I don't know, this doesn't even sound right entirely, but when I was in graduate school, I was in like a economic development course. Mm-hmm. And we were studying about economic development domestically and globally and whatnot. And we were doing some research, and essentially, I forget which country it was or which city in this country it was, but like seed grants, like Kiva grants were like given to women because women had a higher rate.
Kiva grants.
Kiva. It's like average person like you or me could donate $5, $20, whatnot.
Yes, microlending.
Microlending,
yeah, totally.
Kiva's just one of the companies that does
it,
but there's many of them. And because women have a higher rate of payback or repayment than men, but the men would get jealous, and it would lead to like issues within the home and whatnot, even though the woman was becoming more financially secure on her own.
Interesting. And so you did this in your graduate work at Fordham. Urban Studies.
Yeah. So I just took an economic development course. It was just my choice. I didn't have to, but I enjoyed the studies that were related to that. And I think that we need to, even though we're a women's organization, Mommas Hip Hop Kitchen, we try to empower young men at the same time, and men in general, by making them feel like they're relevant. But I feel like there's so many initiatives out there that make men feel like they're not relevant, that they're replaceable, that they're not significant. And I think it's an issue.
Yeah.
I think it's an issue. I don't know how to solve it, but.
Well, I mean, by having conversations like this, saying, you know, a household can't be run alone. Men are relevant. They're necessary, obviously. It's like, I say this, you know, like, I take this for granted. It's like, isn't it obvious?
Right, but like.
But not to everyone.
I don't think to everyone, no.
Okay.
I'm not saying, like, let's stop doing what we're doing for women. I'm definitely not saying that, but I'm saying, how can we work in harmony together or make people
and
not
so this
feel
year's
belittled?
event really speaks to that theme.
We're trying our best to.
Okay.
We would love more assistance with that, or like any other community partners who are kind of better at doing this than we are. We have the audience, but I think we would like to have a better tool set to, or toolkit to be able to like share with our audience on best practices or things that can be done that are better.
It seems like violence against women has been like a really big topic this year, and it's been in the news. And recently, President Obama made an announcement on the Grammys. He spoke about "It's on Us." It's that initiative for people to take a pledge, men and women, I suppose, to take a pledge against speaking out against domestic violence and violence towards women. And so I was like, oh. When I saw that, I was like, this is kind of refreshing. We've got a feminist president who's like, he said it's on us. And it was just like, it was completely cool. I was just like, whoa.
But it's taking it past just the Grammys and taking it past like the media campaigns. It's like implementing it in real life. And I feel like at the Super Bowl, there was that commercial it was like a tampon commercial. It was like Always or something like that. And I was watching with a bunch of college football players or previously college football players. And they, there's all these like hilarious commercials, and it gets to this commercial, and it's interviewing these kids, and it's like, show me how a boy would run, and runs fast, and then show me how a girl would run or how a girl would throw, and then or like how would a girl act, or what would a girl say, and then the boys are asked to say like, well, would you say this about your sister? And then the boys were like, no, I wouldn't, because it's just different. And I think, like, the football players I was with, they kind of were like, they thought, and it, like, hit closer to home, and, like, they were more reflective on it. But I feel like most of these media campaigns are like, hashtag this or hashtag that, and don't really, like, hit home with the issue. And I think, like, we need to make it more personal.
That was a very powerful campaign.
It was. I haven't seen it on air since that night. I also don't watch that much TV, besides Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder.
But Scandal Thursday.
What? But, yeah. I don't know. I think more needs to be done.
Of course. More needs to be done. Well, this is a good place to leave it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Of course. Wait till next time, right? The dating series is next, right?
Oh, my God.
It's definitely happening.
Oh, really?
Wait, could it be called Kathleen Confidential with a K? It won't be about me, but, like, I could be like...
Are you going to narrate the series?
I could, yeah.
Kind of like how Sarah Koenig, like, narrates Serial.
Her voice is hilarious.
Yeah, right? So you can be the voice of this dating series.
With my little Midwest accent.
Are you from the Midwest?
I'm from Ohio, yeah.
No
Sugar
way.
Heights. What?
I had no idea.
Oh,
okay, that's
I guess
really
my
cool.
accent's gone now, but...
Well, you have, like, a non-regional dialect.
Yes, that is true, but I feel like it's if you're from Ohio, you could be like, oh, that girl's from Ohio, just by the way that I talk. But I talk fast now because I'm a New Yorker.
New Yorkers do not speak quickly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you talk so fast.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Yes.
Whoa Podcast is produced by myself, Lenina Mortimer, and Lori Mioli. If you like what you hear, find us and share us on YouTube and Facebook.